Hey guys, Owen and Benny here. What up? We were just having a debate as to whether we switch sides or whether we're always on the same side.
We don't have lives outside of this, y'all.
This is all we do. You are the highlight of our week.
Exactly.
Okay, so there was a bunch of you here today. It was kind of exciting. Seeing people home for spring break.
And going to church on spring break. That's pretty cool.
That is, and we talked about worship today, which is apropos, should we say.
What does apropos mean?
Very appropriate.
Okay, got it.
Sometimes it's used like sarcastically, like, oh, how apropos. But that's not how I was using it then. I was using it for real. Very appropriate.
That's the way UNC fans use it.
Yes.
Sorry,
it was
talk about
it was a long night for the Heels last night.
Anyway, moving on.
Thank you. Worship, which is our topic of conversation for today in worship.
Where we're rethinking things for Lent, right? So week 1 was rethinking discipleship.
Yep.
Week 2 was rethinking prayer, right?
Yep.
And so now here we are, week 3, we're rethinking worship. So what does that have to do with price of eggs in China? I mean, I came to worship and I worshiped. So it's a noun and a verb, and
that's the thing. So you came to and you did worship. The problem is, folks. A lot of times when they think of worship, they think of an event that they're coming to. They're going to come and watch it happen. But worship really is a verb. I mean, to worship means to bow down. It means to bend your life. It means to kiss. If you think of the word, that's like the Greek connotation. Think of the word worship in English, W-O-R. I mean, that worship comes from worthship. It's ascribing worth, it's ascribing value, it's ascribing honor to something.
You really are smart. I did not know that. Not that people that, never mind.
You didn't know I was smart, or you didn't know that's what worship meant?
I didn't know that's what worship meant.
They pay me the big bucks to know these types of things. There's someone standing on the other side of the camera that you can't see right now, but it's distracting us from our purpose. But it's okay.
And his name sounds like Larry Coates.
Just a little bit like that. It rhymes with it. Anyway, so we were talking about worship and how it's a verb and how it's something that we do, not something that we come to observe or to check off a list, but something we come to participate in. We also talked about how it's something that we go on to. It's not something, we don't worship God for an hour, but all of our lives are worship. What are some ways, Benny, that you think we worship with our lives?
Well, you can actually worship in the way that you interact with people, by the way that you give to others, of your time, your sacrifice, the way that you interact with people. I don't know, you caught me off guard with that one. That was really good.
No, it was a good response on the fly.
I think that the way that you can live your lives every day and know that that is in service to God, because God is everywhere. It says in the book of John that he tells a Samaritan woman that no longer will we be going to worship as a place, but we will be worshiping God in spirit and truth, and that can be anywhere. In fact, it's everywhere.
That's it. In fact, the context, how much time do we have? If y'all are getting bored of this, you can turn it off, but I'm going to tell you a little.
No, don't turn it off.
It's a little history
lesson. Don't turn
lesson.
it off. You stop.
All right, so Jesus, in John 4, Jesus meets the woman at the well, right? She's a Samaritan, and he's a Jew, and they sort of, Scripture points out that the Jews and the Samaritans don't get along. And basically the reason is because in 1000 BCE, King David, unified the 12 tribes of Israel and formed one great nation. And then that nation got taken over twice, first by the Assyrians, second by the Babylonians. All right, David had made the capital city, Jerusalem, and he had built a temple there, which was to be the place that God lived. Well, when one country takes over another country, they send all those people into exile. So what happened was, a lot of people left to go into exile. Some people stayed behind. And when they stayed behind, they changed the place that they worshipped from Jerusalem, which was one mountain, to Mount Gerizim, which was another mountain. And so she's sort of saying, look, this is where true worship takes place, but you're a Jew, you think true worship really takes place over there. And Jesus is unpacking all of that. He's saying it has nothing to do with where you worship, or whether you're rocking out with a guitar, or whether you're playing with an organ, or whether you've got a hymnal in your hands, or you're reading off the screen. It has nothing to do with that. We don't worship in Gerizim. We don't worship in Jerusalem. We worship in spirit and in truth.
Exactly.
There's your history lesson for the day.
He really is smart. So we encourage you guys this week to worship God with your lives, not only in church, but everywhere.
In spirit
and in truth.
All right. If you want to know more about the Israelites, feel free to let me know. I'd be happy to fill you in on lots of things that you never actually cared to hear about.
Because all we got is time for you.
All we got is time for you.
I just can't go on.
Y'all have a good week. Bye.